The young novice's journey. It was still early in the morning when the young novice Samir set out for the country's highest mountain. The ascent was arduous, but the higher he climbed, the lighter his heart became. It was as if his mind was clearing, as if the burdens of his life were falling away with every step he took. At the top, in a place of almost paradisiacal beauty, lived a great master, secluded in a simple hut, surrounded by pure, untouched nature. They said he knew the secret of initiation, the path that leads the soul to the divine light. Samir had read countless books, but his longing was not satisfied. He was no longer seeking knowledge. He was seeking experience, truth, a deep spiritual awakening. So he wandered along winding paths, through rugged yet beautiful landscapes. It was as if he were embarking on an inner journey of life. After many hours of climbing, he finally reached the summit. There sat the master, silent and absorbed in meditation, enveloped in an aura of peace and bliss. The first rays of the sun bathed the land in golden light as Samir bowed reverently and spoke. Master, I seek initiation. I want to know how to connect with the divine. Slowly, the master opened his eyes and looked at Samir with a gentle, benevolent smile. Initiation, he asked. Dear soul, what do you mean by that? Single quote. Samir thought about it. I want to understand my past and dissolve the entanglements. I want to connect with the good powers that are meant for me, understand the sacred laws of the cosmos, recognize my mission, my soul plan for this visit to Earth. The master nodded benevolently. You already sense some of this, otherwise you wouldn't ask like that. Come, follow me, on a journey of wisdom. They wandered until they came to a spring whose crystal clear water bubbled out of the rock. The master filled a bowl and said, This water is pure. But imagine it were full of mud. Would you drink from it? Single quote. Samir shook his head. Of course not. Then understand, your body is the temple of your soul. Cleanse it, physically and spiritually. Nourish yourself with pure food, with light and love. Provide not only your body, but also your mind and soul with what elevates it. Your body is the vessel for the divine. Treat it with respect. Samir took the bowl in both hands and drank. The water refreshed him deeply, not only physically, but also mentally. They walked on and came to a tall tree with branches swaying gently in the wind. Do you see this tree? The master asked. It remains firmly rooted, whether the wind blows gently or a storm rages. So should your heart be, not torn by fear, anger or pain, but resting deeply in love and peace. Samir understood. He had often acted impulsively, letting himself be driven by emotions. Now he realized that true initiation meant understanding feelings, but not being ruled by them. They were messengers, but not his masters. He knew he had to practice this. After a long hike, they reached a clearing with a calm lake. The master said, What do you see on the surface of the water? Single quote. My reflection. And when the water is moving, single quote, then it blurs. The master nodded. It is the same with your mind. As long as your thoughts are restless, you cannot see the truth. But when you clear your mind, through prayer, meditation, or by immersing yourself in nature, then the light will reveal itself. Then you can see to the bottom of your soul. Samir was silent for a long time. He now knew that initiation is not found in books, but lives in the heart, and shows itself in the way he thinks, feels, and acts. At that moment, the sun began to shine brightly over the mountains. Its golden light fell over the landscape, and on Samir. The master smiled. Do you see the sun? It gives its light to everyone, the pure and the impure, the poor and the rich. It does not ask if someone is worthy. It simply shines because it is its nature. Become like the sun. Shine your light without expecting anything in return. Lift your heart above darkness and doubt. Then you will understand that true initiation lies not in words or ceremonies, but in life itself. Samir asked, "And where do I find this strength?" Single quote. The master gently placed his hand on his chest. Here, in your heart. The source is always there. You just have to look within. And then he added, but you can also find the divine outside of you, in the nature that surrounds you, in the creatures that accompany you, even in the people who challenge you. Let go of your wounds and release your entanglements, because they bind you to this world as long as you do not release them. Try to heal the wounds and entanglements, for they bind you to this world. For example, by going back into them emotionally and allowing the tears. For they are the water that cleanses the soul. And suddenly he realized what beautiful nature he was in. Deepest gratitude filled his heart. O you, my Creator, how wonderfully you have created me and everything. I give you my love and reverence, unconditionally and permanently. Because you have spoken to me through the Master and revealed to me the deep essence of life. Full of joy and with radiant eyes, the man looked at the Master. Yes, that's it. He couldn't hold back any longer and hugged him until tears came to his eyes, for both of them. You understood it. It wasn't me who conveyed this message to you, but our Creator spoke to you through my heart. So become transparent to the light of the Creator too, and become a warrior of the light, so that you illuminate yourself and the world and imbue it with love and connection. Perhaps that is your soul's plan, your mission. You and the world. You, unique, and the whole, which needs you. The separation has now come to an end. Loneliness was yesterday. Inner emptiness gave way to the fullness of the heart. Again and again he wanted to go to the source of life to recharge his batteries and to adjust himself. Just as his master exemplified this. Going into the silence, and then shaping the world, contemplation and action. They sat in silence for a long time, gazing at the sun and nature, and the wisdom beyond words enveloped our dear Samir. But the master had to go to his animals. Become a master yourself, become perfect, because paradise needs people like that. And make good use of the best school on earth, courageously into life, out with experience, and don't forget the petrol station. In that moment, Samir knew that he had found what he had been looking for so long. He became a radiant sun himself. And he wanted to give this joy to all people, unconditionally, and thereby multiplying it. In gratitude and serenity, he literally flew back down into the valley. He had understood that every person is on their own path of initiation. Initiation begins within me. Sparkles. Mind and emotions go through stages of transformation and purification. Through inner clarity and calmness, we connect with the divine light. The sun is our great role model. Those who carry light within them give it to the world.